Great.
We're now speaking with Mr. Scott Tapson, who is Vice President with Jazz Air in the company's brand new and latest Q400 at the Paris Air Show. Mr. Tapson, tell us a little bit about your decision to go with the Q400.
Well, this aircraft is actually going to replace a number of our older CRJ-100 aircraft. These are aircraft that we had operated for quite a few years, 50-seat jets. The Q400 has a tremendous appeal for us. It has such a lower trip cost compared to other aircraft of this size, particularly with the turboprop engine. We're able to replace CRJ-100s on sector lengths of, say, up to 2.5 hours without an appreciable difference in the block time. Allows us to operate routes such as Toronto to Quebec City, Toronto to Thunder Bay, that we really couldn't do with other turboprops, and at a much lower trip cost. So for us, Air Canada is our major customer. We have a capacity purchase agreement with Air Canada, and this allows us to deliver a great product for Air Canada's customers at a very, very low cost, and so it has great appeal for them as well.
What do you estimate the savings are from the Q400 to a regional jet of the earlier generation?
Well, in some cases, depending on the stage length, we can actually look at the trip cost of a 50-seat CRJ-100 and compare it to the Q400 trip cost. The trip cost isn't appreciably greater, and so for us, operating this aircraft in a 74-seat configuration, we're actually getting 24 additional seats for essentially the same trip cost, which is a considerable savings. And today's high fuel cost environment, where oil is over $100 a barrel, this aircraft becomes a real boon for us going forward. And it's something that we've been working on for a number of years here, and I know Air Canada is quite excited about having this aircraft enter the fleet as well.
Your company is very familiar with Bombardier products, right? You have a big fleet?
Yeah, we've operated Bombardier products for really over 30 years. Jazz Air was really the amalgamation, consolidation of 5 regional carriers in Canada: Air BC, Air Ontario, Air Nova, Air Alliance, and Canadian Regional Airlines. So we have 130 Bombardier aircraft in our fleet. We are the world's largest operator of the classic Dash 8 aircraft, having 64 Dash 8 100s and 300s in our fleet. We have a fleet of CRJs, both the 100, 200, as well 16 CRJ 705. So we're very familiar with Bombardier products. We've always enjoyed good support from Bombardier, and we have an excellent relationship with them.
What are the routes that you intend to use the Q400 on?
Well, our first aircraft started service earlier this month on Toronto to Quebec City. The aircraft will also be operating to Thunder Bay, Ontario. We'll be into New Brunswick. The initial aircraft will be primarily in the eastern side of Canada. So we are putting it on longer stage lengths, again, taking advantage of the speed that the aircraft can offer, that 365 knot cruising speed, which really allows us to deliver a great product with a block time that is quite comparable to a jet.
And what about noise and the ability to go into smaller cities, smaller airports?
Well, one of the great things about the Q400 is a lot of the technology that has been built into the aircraft to keep the noise down. It's a tremendously quiet aircraft. Obviously, this aircraft is a next-gen version of the Q400 as well, so it has a tremendous amount of space on board. The new bins allow large rollerboards on board, and from a customer perspective, that makes a tremendous difference. Jazz operates to a lot of small communities across the country, where smaller airports, shorter airfields. So the short field performance of the aircraft is quite valuable from that perspective as well.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.